So, I'm going to be doing a review on the TIE Striker. So, this set released in September of 2016 for a retail price of $70, and the set retired in December of 2017. And if you want the set new, sealed in the box, you should expect to pay around $140. And this has set number 75154, 543 pieces, 4 minifigures, and an age range from 8 to 14 years. And no, this whole stand was not included. So the first figure is just a basic Rebel Trooper. So the printing on his torso and legs, both are fine, but I do like his helmet. I think it looks pretty good. I do think that it might be the same mold as the Endor Leia helmet, but I might be wrong about that. But the helmet does have some very nice gunmetal gray printing all around. And his back print is okay, but I do like his face print. I am a fan of this more battle cry face. And this is the second face. We also get an Imperial ground crew member. And it is a pretty good figure. I do like the printing on his torso and legs. They both do look pretty nice. And the same goes for his back print. And the figure does include this pretty nice helmet mold. I think it looks pretty good. There are actually 4 dimples on the top of his helmet. And this is his face print underneath. And he does include these little landing light things. Probably the best figure in the set is the Shore Trooper. And this one is actually specifically a captain, which is indicated by his sand blue arm and the sand blue on his chest plate. And the printing on his torso and legs do both look pretty nice. Like I said, I do like the sand blue. And he also has a pretty good back print. And he, of course, includes the Shore Trooper helmet, which does look very nice. It does have some very nice printing on it, but he just has the regular angry clone head underneath. And our final figure is, unsurprisingly, a TIE pilot. And this is also a decent minifigure. I do like the printing on his torso and legs, and I do like the tubing on his chest. I think that does look pretty nice, but I definitely wish it was a physical 2-piece, kind of like the First Order TIE pilots. And he does include the pretty standard helmet molds, but I'm still not the biggest fan of the massive gap at the back. It just doesn't really look that good. And his back print is very simple. But the printing on his helmet is very nice. There are some nice silver stripes and some Imperial logos. And he also just includes the regular angry clone head. Overall, this is a decent minifigure selection. All of the figures were done pretty well. I do like them all. My personal favorite does have to be the Shore Trooper. I kind of wish the set included some sort of named character. I think that would have been pretty nice. Otherwise, pretty good minifigures, but now let's get on to the actual build. Alright, so first up, let's talk about the whole cockpit area. So the actual windshield does look very nice. I definitely like the detailing on it. And I also like the whole shaping around it. I think that looks pretty nice. And you can, of course, bring it down and open the top up. But having this beam in the middle is not the best, especially considering this is actually a plate. So LEGO totally could have attached this to that, so that would also raise up. But the actual inside does look very nice. It is actually more detailed than most TIE fighters. And you can, of course, put in your figure, and there would be his little control panel. But I kind of wish there was some sort of print right there. And plus, they can't really reach it that well. I mean, they look decent. But you can, of course, close the top and close the front windshield. And the top of the set does look pretty nice. There is some decent sticker detailing right there, and same at the top, and at that little dish piece. But you can see a bit of the Technic peeking through right there. And please ignore all of the dust. I know that there's a lot. But now for the back. So the whole back area does look decent. I definitely like the sand blue, and the sand blue scattered across the builds. But for some reason with the set, I always thought that the back could open up and you can actually put figures inside. Kind of like how the Sith Fury class Interceptor was. But sadly, you cannot do that. However, you can open the top up and there is some storage. There are just some clips and spots to hold the blaster, a pair of macro binoculars, and this little control thing. There is actually a unique sticker on it. I mean, technically, if you remove that clip right there and replace it with a normal brick, you can actually fit a whole minifigure inside. I did try it out, but that was not intentional, and it is a pretty tight fit. Now the wings. So the wings do look very nice, but I'm not a huge fan of those random little gaps. It definitely disrupts the flow of things. And there are some nice sticker tiles right here, but I did lose the other one. And the wings actually do incorporate both tiles and plates, which I do like. And there is a bit of sand blue at the tip. And if you're curious, this is what the ship looks like underneath. It's not nearly as pretty. But you can actually put this ship in its flight mode. And the way you actually put it into its flight mode is there are just those levers, which you pull up. And that's what the whole thing looks like in its flight mode. It is pretty cool. I definitely like it, but I wouldn't really recommend that you display it like this unless you put it on a stand. But if you actually want to fly the ship around, I would say hold it right about here because it does allow a pretty nice grip. But if you want to carry it around to not, fly it around, I would say hold it with both hands. And do not hold it by the wings. But you can actually see a bit of the side, which does look pretty nice. They do even use a phone piece right there. And you can even see just a bit of the Technic interior. And as you might have noticed, there are two spring-loaded shooters, which don't look particularly the best, just because they were slapped on the bottom and they weren't properly hidden. But we all know how this works. You just push down and then they fire. That one didn't fire fully. It's supposed to go farther. And LEGO did actually add this piece right here, so the whole set would be level. So, should you pick up the set? I mean, if you are a fan of Rogue One, or you just like the design of the TIE Striker in general, then this is a pretty good buy. Especially considering the price isn't that bad, especially for a set that retired 8 years ago. And plus, all the figures are very nice, especially the Shore Trooper. And the build does look great. But if you decide to purchase the set, I would highly recommend that you either buy an acrylic stand or you just build your own, like I did. But overall, I'll give the set about an 8.5 out of 10.